Hello, everybody, and welcome in to episode 31 of Pixel Yaps, starring myself, Cesire, and my lovely co-host here.
Loonaromi, hello! Look,
Hello,
we're all new and
hello.
shiny, guys.
Yes,
For any people who are watching, I guess.
yeah, we've updated. Really, we've just made it cleaner. It looks it's just a little bit more streamlined. And we have room for improvement or room for growth in the future, room for people to join us if we want. So yeah, it's been over a year. It was time. It was time to glow up a little bit. So thanks, Loona, for taking that initiative. It looks really good.
Listen, I finished a project on my plate and I needed another one. Okay, so this was perfect.
All right, welcome in. We all, as always, even when we don't realize it, we have so much to yap about and so little time. I did mention last time that I would be recapping my tiny teams, so we'll be getting into that a little bit later. But as usual, to start things off, we're going to talk about, what we've been up to, what we've been playing since you last saw us. Well, you've been playing stuff,
So many games. Oh my
god. Yeah. Would you like to start with one of what you've been playing recently?
Of the whole 2 games. So I have most recently gotten back into Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV has just become like Elder Scrolls Online is the MMO I have most experience in, right? But Final Fantasy XIV has really just become my happy place, like my comfort MMO.
Game.
Like I turn that game on, I feel happy, like
me with Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, exactly. I just feel joy. And so it's been really nice getting back into it, and I finally caught up completely to where I was on NA on my EU account. So I finished Dawn Trail on EU now, and now I'm just working on unlocking a bunch of raids so people don't yell at me when they queue with me and they always get the same 2 raids popped. So there's like more of a roster for the randomizer to pick, So we were doing that yesterday. And we unlocked like a whole raid series. Like we did all 3 tiers. So it was a productive raid unlock stream. And it's been a lot of fun. I'm so excited to hop into post main story quest of Dawn Trail because I've never experienced that yet. So I'm really excited to get into something new. And I think we're probably going to be starting that next week.
Okay.
Because I did want to do like a little bit of a break between like finishing the main story and then hopping into the post, So yeah, we're doing that, I think. And yeah, it's just been a really good time, and they've announced a new expansion that's coming in January, which is my birthday month. So I'm really, really excited for that. It's called Evercold, and it looks so intriguing already. And I am so excited to be caught up and get into Evercold. And it's just unlocking these raids has been a lot of fun as well because like I don't know, I've done raids and stuff in a few different MMOs now. And Final Fantasy just I don't know, they do it different. They're like, is this like a really memey mimic thing, like very cliche, maybe a little bit over the top thing. Let's do it. They're like, let's do it. Let's just put it in there. And in one of like the recent and one of the recent Dawn Trail raids, I think, people literally call it the bullshit mechanic because it feels like it just kind of like randomizes any mechanic that already exists in game and you figure it out.
Oh wow, interesting.
So that's a choice.
If you know anything about Final Fantasy just as a series itself, they're definitely not afraid to just get really silly. Like
yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's this weird high fantasy, but then also like what a bunch of goobers,
Yeah. I really like it. And the really cool thing about Final Fantasy is listen closely, so sorry. Okay, you ready? It's got like a unlimited free trial. So the way that this works is that they have kind of capped it. So you can do anything in the game and as much as you want of the game up to like I think it is like level 80 and up to I think it includes Shadowbringers. Yeah, up until like the end of Shadowbringers essentially. So you can do base game, Heavensward, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers. You can play basically the majority of the game completely for free. And like when I say you can level up to level 80, it's not just like that you have one character that you level up to level 80. You have one character, yes, but that one character can learn many different classes, essentially all of the classes, and each of those classes have their own levels. So each of these levels, each of these classes you can level up to level 80. So there's like so much content for you to do on just free to play. Free to play. And it does have some restrictions, obviously.
Yeah.
Like you can't use your market board. You can't use
even
the market
create
board.
a party or
You can't
anything
create.
like
You
that.
can be invited to a party.
But
You
the
can be
person who,
invited to a
yeah, the
party.
person who invites you has to like have a sub. Like it's, it's still good. It's still a good trial in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like it is a good trial, but I always think it's funny when they're like, it's like completely free, and it's just like, yeah, but it's really pushing you to pay for it. Like,
I think it's definitely. I think the free trial is more worth it if you already have friends who have the game who want you to like experience it kind of deal. Because
exactly.
then they have the party. They are able to whisper. They
Yeah.
are able to like show you the ropes and invite you to the party and all those
Yeah.
things, you
So like
know?
my husband and his friends tried to start together, and they were all on free accounts, and so one of them basically had to sub to do anything, and so that really Tree was just like not a
Yeah.
fan.
And that is the big I really wish that one day they'll change that model a little bit. I don't particularly like that you have to be subbed to play it once you buy it. Like I think it'd be really neat if they figured out a way that they could be like, okay, if you bought the game and you're not subbed, you can use the game to the extent a free trial person can use it. So that you can still log on, you can still hang out with your friends. You just can't necessarily do all the
Yeah,
perks that a
because
sub would
you
basically
you
get
still
you.
have to buy expansions, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and so it just feels a little bit. I mean, I get it; it's what a lot of MMOs do, but to me, I'm just like, man, that's cheeky. Now to be fair to Final Fantasy, they have very good quality of life. You get tons, like pretty much all of the fashion you can earn in the game because they have a subsystem. So there are obviously upsides to it, and so it really boils down to what kind of gamer you are. And me, I'm a no sub gamer.
We've been trying to get her into it for years.
Yeah.
Years.
I just can't. I just can't. I'd rather play Guild
Every
Wars.
few months we're like, have you heard of the brand new I mean, have you heard of the award-winning MMO Final Fantasy, not including award-winning expansion Shadowbringers?
Yeah. So
I'm
if you
just like,
are
yeah, no.
if you are into Final Fantasy, you should check out Loona, and you can hang out with her and help her actually stay on task. Loona, is this the first time that you're going to be caught up, or have you been caught up with an expansion before?
So I I did catch no, wait. I was almost caught up at one point, but then I was like I'd have to rush through it to be able to finish the last little bit, and I didn't want to do that. And I was caught up at some point before they brought out the post Dawn Trail story.
Mm-hmm.
I had finished the Dawn Trail story really soon after it came out, and I actually was able to. I would have been able to enjoy post Dawn Trail with everybody else at the same time of it like coming out. But I had like literally just finished Dawn Trail. And so like I wanted to like digest it a little bit before hopping back into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, people's lives got busy, time zones became more of an issue, and then I just stopped playing. And then I started playing again when I swapped on to you, and now I have like a bunch of EU friendos that I frequently play with. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, imagine
But
being
yeah.
on a server that suits your time zone.
But yeah, this will be the first time that I'm actually up to date with a complete like new expansion coming out.
All right,
So I'm really excited
so
for it.
you heard it here, Pixel Yaps enjoyers. There will probably be future talk of Final Fantasy from Loona as she experiences an expansion as it's happening.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Okay, so I mentioned a game last episode, and I got to try it out. I got to try out Cozy Marbles, and oh my goodness, it is so cute.
It looked adorable. I was like in and out during that stream because I kept on getting distracted with things. But it looked so cute. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and so like it was an interesting thing for me because obviously I like housing and whatnot, but I wouldn't really say that I'm not like a great builder or anything. Like I don't really come into these things with too much of an idea, right? And so it was really interesting to try building a course in this game because it's just like where do you start, Well, obviously, you start with the beginning point, but like it was really fun to just like try and play with these little pieces and see what I could do. And then there was chat integration, so like people could join as little marbles, and I could even use them just for the testing. So you could just launch marbles whenever you wanted to kind of test whether or not it actually was going to work. And it was really nice because so like these pieces that if you're watching the stream, these pieces that you see me playing with, these weren't base unlocked. I unlocked them by doing little challenges, and I got like little tickets to unlock them. So it starts you with like a base set of wooden pieces. So for people who get overwhelmed, that was pretty nice, because then you could you only had so much to play with at first, so you could just kind of start placing them. And there's no penalties. Like, it doesn't cost anything to place pieces or anything. So you can really just, like, start placing stuff and see what works, right? So yeah, it was really fun. They had a nice variation of pieces. I do think I want to keep an eye on kind of what they're planning to do going forward, because I think, like, for the Twitch integration especially, a couple extra features could really make it a great game to put on when you're like AFK, so that like chat could do a couple of races while you're taking your break. I think it has that potential. And the really cool thing is that it's Steam Workshop already enabled. And so we even got to play people's levels the day before release, because I played it early access.
That's so cool.
Yeah, because it released yesterday. So we got to try other people's levels, which was really cool. And I don't know. I hope that the plan is to keep adding stuff, like even through like DLC packs. I think DLC packs would be great. Because I think this game has a great base. That is a good question. I actually didn't take note of that. Let me see. Right now it is $8.99 on sale.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so it's $10 regularly. So like it's a very good price point. Which is why I think they should do DLCs. And just like add more themes and more, because you can customize your marbles too. And I would like the ability for chat, for example, to be able to be like, okay, because you could do join and then a color marble, right? But I think it would be cool if you could do join and then like one of my custom marbles. So like I named one Springy. But that didn't seem to have that functionality at this time, unfortunately. But yeah, I think it was a lot of fun. And I think especially for people who are very creative and like really like building courses like this, I think that I think it'll scratch that itch. And the music,
but also
was
for
so
people
cozy.
who don't like building courses, are there like integrated courses in the game, or do you all have to get them through the workshop? Okay.
No, they had like, I want to say like 6 or 7 courses.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like test courses to give you an example of what you could do or how the
Right,
different
right.
pieces worked. But I think the real strength is going to be in the Steam Workshop because you're going to be able
Mhm.
to download courses from other people
Okay.
and use those so that you don't have to make your own.
Yeah, because like as cool as it looks to build your own course, for some reason like those type of like I like housing and all that, but for some reason like course or like roller coaster kind of like building things never interested me at all. So like I would be interested in playing this with my Twitch chat, but I probably would not necessarily be interested in the whole building aspect of it. So the fact that there is a way to download additional courses is very important for me
Yeah, that's
personally.
gonna keep it alive, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think probably where the problem is with that is there's no actual goal. It's just here are the pieces, make a course, and so that can be daunting, which understandably. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Even though I was not very good at making courses, it it was fun. I
Okay.
enjoyed being bad at it. It was fun seeing how trying something and then like they would just fall right off or something. It just
Hmm.
it was a nice little entry. And like there's marbles on stream, right? But that always felt kind of daunting to me for some reason. Or and then it was just kind of older is what
Yeah,
became the problem. So this one
I
has like
didn't like.
cute aesthetics. It's got good music.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
what I
decorate the
really like
marbles.
the aesthetics. I
Yeah.
really like the aesthetics, and it's so cute.
And if you look at like you could decide whether or not to have scaffolding. So you could have these big blocky things if you wanted to, but you could also
Hmm.
remove the blocks and just have them floating in the air. So very cool. This was the debut game for these devs, so congratulations to them.
Okay, nice.
They really knocked it out of the park. And I thought it was funny because you can actually, so you have the free cam, right? You can actually go around this room and look at the assets, and they had like little articles and just silly things all throughout the map, which I thought was
That's so
extra
cute.
charming. Yeah. So yeah, cozy marbles. If you're a marble enthusiast, I definitely recommend checking it out. I think I think you'll have fun. It was really fun. Um,
Nice.
Loona, continuing on, I guess, games where you build things. You tried the most recent Pokopia update. What did you think?
I did. I really loved it. I want to try out more of it, honestly. Because I only tried out that one stream. I haven't had any time to hop back into it since. But oh my god. Do you guys remember when that episode in the very first season of Pokemon? It was like one of the, I think it was maybe the fourth or fifth episode, very early on. The one with Misty where you go back to Cerulean City um and she like takes over to act in the mermaid show that her sisters
Mm-hmm.
usually put on and stuff like that. That was one of my favorite, has always been one of my favorite episodes. And I always kind of wanted them to release a Pokemon game where you were able to live underwater with various different Pokemon. And this is that so much. So this like makes me like even talking about it again now. I talked about it on stream. I got teary eyed on stream talking about it. Even talking about it now, I get teary eyed again. It fills me with so much joy being able to play in an underwater Pokemon world where I can discover and befriend different Pokemon. And obviously it's Pokopia, so you get to build, you get to influence the terrain, and then there's like the little lore bits still around of figuring out what the heck happened. And oh my god, I love the underwater world so very much. I will say they 100% know what they did. So, um, as you may know, the diving is a free update.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to pay for the diving. The diving area where you can dive in is a very small, limited area. Furthermore, you start diving, you turn around, and the first thing you see is the big entrance to the next place, which is locked behind the DLC.
Yeah, which is fair. I
So,
mean,
yeah. But you know, they're like, yeah, you can dive for free. You can't do anything with it, but you can dive. So yeah, and it's just I love all the coloring and the flowers, and honestly, everything about it. There's not a thing about it that I hate right now. Like I thoroughly love this new DLC. And if you like Pokopia and you like the idea of if you like Pokopia, you like water Pokemon, and you'd like to, I mean, who doesn't want to live under the water? I mean, like, come on. Come on, every kid at some point played mermaids, right? Right?
I
And then,
imagine, yeah.
add Pokemon to that, and there you go. There you go. You're living your dream. It's amazing. No, I really, really loved it. I'm so antsy to hop back into it. And I think people, I mean, so far, from everyone who I've talked to that has played the new, it's called Bubbly Basin, first of all. Everybody who has, like, played the new DLC, everyone has been, like, really happy with it. So yeah, I'm very excited. They did a good job with it, and I really want to try more. And I've been told that at nighttime it looks even more gorgeous. So I might, maybe tonight after stream I'll start up Pokopia. No, let's be honest, I'm gonna fall asleep after stream today.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I haven't played it yet is I'm trying to finish up Palworld achievements first.
That's fair. I've dropped Palworld for now.
Yeah, I just want to finish the achievements so I can be done.
Yeah, with Palworld, I think I touched on this last podcast, but just got to a point. I think Palworld gets to a point. I love the creature. I love the exploration, and I love the creature capturing in Palworld. The thing where I have to disconnect that I don't like is the whole machine aspect of it. I don't know, the
You
like
don't like the
machine.
mecha mix?
No, I don't like the mecha mix. If they would have kept it like, more nature based or whatnot, more gather these sticks and make a rope with it, or gather these things, and you know what I mean? But the fact they made it mecha, I'm like, And then it starts like at every turn they're like, okay, now make this production band. Okay, now go make these guns and give your pals guns so they can defend your base. And I'm like, I don't want any of that.
Return base raids off.
Yeah, I don't. That's the part of it that I really don't enjoy. But I do really love the exploration in that game is really great, and I love discovering different pals. But I don't like the mecha aspect. No. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I mentioned it, so.
She said the word and Luna went zoom.
That's why for a second it said Palworld rant, but it wasn't really a rant, so I got rid of the word rant.
I mean, you can lay into it if you want.
I don't have any real rants. It's mostly it's a fun game. It's just it's a game that I'm gonna play once. I'm gonna finish the achievements, and then I'm probably not really gonna think about it much anymore.
I will say, as someone who was strongly against Palworld because of the Pokemon comparison and stuff like that, I will say Palworld, it starts and stops at the pals.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no Pokemon there outside of the fact that you capture characters. Like, there's no like Pokemon's like this whole world, and it's like, yeah, Palworld, like, they like threw you a couple bones at building a world, but like. Yeah, like you said, it really starts and stops at the fact that there are things called pals that you capture to fight with you.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, you can't even do trainer battles. You get in trouble.
You can't do trainer battles. And there's dungeons and stuff like that you explore. You use your pals to help you build stuff.
Yeah, but
which I guess
that's not
technically to do that too.
Yeah, but that's not a Pokemon dungeon. Pokemon dungeons are puzzles.
Exactly. No, I don't think it's comparable at all.
No, it's really just the creatures.
It's more like, it's more close to Valheim meets 3D graphics meets pals.
Yeah.
Creatures, that's
actually
it.
Not a bad.
That's what you get.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's been fun, but I definitely, I think most of the people that are playing on my server have switched to other games. So it kind of, it had its time in the sun, and I mean there's obviously still a bunch of people playing it, but I think the hype's kind of dying down.
It's that thing again with early access, isn't it? Like
Well, I
early
don't think
access
it's a bad thing.
No, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but the thing is, a lot of people were super hyped for it when it came out in early access. So the majority of people played it already to hell and back within early access. So now that it's come out, sure it's exciting, sure it's fun, but a lot of people have already had their Palworld obsession. You know what I mean?
Well, and for
so
oh, sorry, continue.
no, go on. I was just gonna say, so a lot of people are probably not as many people are probably picking it up now than did before.
Yeah, well, I think they saw a huge
Yeah.
spike for the 1.0, but the 1.0 mostly just opened up the last areas. So,
Okay.
people who had already played a lot, really, they just had to play to get to those areas, and then they were more or less done.
Yeah.
So,
I think Valheim might struggle with the same thing, honestly, because a lot of Valheim has been, I mean, Valheim has been in early access for how many years now?
I don't know.
You know?
I can't keep track.
And they've released several little updates, several little zones and everything like that. So people have played that game to hell and back. And I'm gonna be one of those people that is gonna hop back into it as soon as it drops because I'm excited for it. And I'm probably gonna try my best to kind of rush to the areas that I haven't done already. But I feel like the novelty of the 1.0 releases for those games that have been out in early access for several years runs out really fast.
And I think that's okay. Because they made the money that they made during early access and got the
Yeah.
hype that they got, and it's not the worst thing if not everybody comes back for your 1.0. I think with Valheim, a lot of people will come back just because there's a new area to explore, and you can finally, so like for me, I hadn't been playing Valheim because I got sick of having to restart to explore new areas if I'd already accidentally explored them. So for me, the 1.0 is exciting because it's kind of the like, okay, this is the final extra area unless they do DLCs or something. So I can finally actually just play the game naturally without having to worry about like, oh, I don't want to explore this area too much,
Yeah, in case we need to update. Yeah. I'm excited for Valheim.
Yeah, I'm excited
Also,
too.
regarding creature capture game, if you want a creature capture game that's not Pokemon, but that's not quite Palworld, there's always Witchspire. Just saying.
Yeah, we gotta get some more Witchspire, but again, early access, so it can
It is an
be
early access. And I
difficult to
feel
play
like
these.
Witchspire is in a bit of like the earlier early access
Yeah.
areas because there's still quite a bit of it that feels a little bit janky. It is a fun game. It is a fun game, and I feel like once it gets a little bit more dev time, it's gonna be freaking incredible. But it definitely needs a little bit more dev time.
Well, and it makes sense with obviously it makes sense that so many survival crafts do early access first because they're complex games. They are
Yeah.
very complex games, and you don't want to spend development time on features that your players don't want. And so releasing into early access is the smart play, so you know what players want and you know what to work on, because not all survival gamers are the same, and depending on what your game is, we're looking for different things. So yeah, I'm all for early access survival games, but on that same note, I'm also, like, well, I'm going to wait for a lot of them because I don't want to I don't want to be here super early right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, and it does make sense why they do it. Yeah. Okay. Just a couple more games to talk about that I've been playing before we move on to the main topic of tiny teams, and I don't know if Loona has anything specific.
I've not played Tiny Teams at all. I'm really sorry.
No, it's fine. No, I just mean outside of tiny teams. Okay, so I got to try it's called Lost and Found, a This Bed We Made story. For those that aren't familiar, there's a game called This Bed We Made. It's like a narrative game where you play as a maid. It's in like the 1960s. And there's a murder, and you're like trying to figure out who did it while you're like, snooping through people's rooms while you're cleaning them, basically. So obviously a Cesire catnip game. Because I love snooping. I love it. So this is a sequel, technically. They called it a standalone sequel. Because you can technically play it without having played the first game. But it was really nice because the first game had multiple endings, based on what you did. So it was nice that they were like, well, there's no canon ending. They're like, whatever ending you got, or whatever ending, oh, why is that so small? Whatever ending that you resonated with. It's tiny. I'll fix it later.
I know why.
Whatever you resonated with, you could choose that to be your starting point for this game. Or you could choose, like, I didn't play the game, and they would choose what they felt was the best storyline, basically, in their opinion. So that was really cool. Because that was obviously the first question a lot of us had was like, well, there were three or four endings, So at the beginning of the game, I got to choose, what endings I went with. And so I went with, one of the ones that maybe wasn't quite as uplifting as the others. And it affected just little things in the game. Like I got a note from some people that I helped in the first game, basically thanking me because I more or less saved their lives. And just like little touches like that. But the game itself was a much lighter version of the This Bed We Made gameplay, basically. You're a maid again, or you're a stewardess technically working on a cruise ship, basically. And the story is lighter in the sense that there's not a murder this time. You're just looking for a thief. And you have been asked to snoop, so it's sanctioned snooping, which there's nothing better.
Sanctioned snooping.
Sanctioned snooping. Like, yep. I was allowed to snoop. Yeah.
I'm allowed to be a peeping Tom.
Oh, there we go. That helps. That's why.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that made me really happy, but I was just really happy, to be honest, that it felt like This Bed We Made, the game that I really enjoyed, but just, a lighter version where we got to see some of our character growth and where we got to, do some more of the stuff that we loved, snooping, cleaning up rooms, fixing up papers and solving little puzzles, trying to figure out how people are connected to each other, It was short. I did it in a stream, a couple hours. And the first game was short as well, but it does have you can replay it for the multiple endings and the multiple achievements and whatnot. But there's just something about those games for me that this really work. They do deal with some sensitive topics. So like the first game especially, it's the 1960s, and some of the characters that you're snooping on are gay. And back then, you could be arrested for that. So like it deals with these very heavy topics, and like your character herself can even go through that if you choose to go with the female love interest. So it touches on these topics in history in a way that's kind of interactive, and in a way that like you feel kind of a part of it. And it was, it was a little bit of a mixed bag where it's just like, this is really awesome, but oh my gosh, I can't believe that it was like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They're just really good narrative games. I was so excited that I was able to get a key to play this one, because that meant I got to play it earlier. Because I would have played it eventually, But yeah, it's always nice to see developers who can keep their characters going, without having to destroy them or put them through trauma. Like this one was kind of a healing episode. And there is seemingly going to be another one, more mainline, in the future. So our girl might be going through some stuff again. But for now, we got to have a nice, lighthearted narrative. Our boss isn't an asshole this time. Our old boss was. And so it was just really nice. I don't know. It was cozy. It was a very cozy game. And it still did have references to some of these harder topics, but in a way that wasn't as, intense. It was there, but it wasn't like the forefront, so to speak. So yeah. Highly recommend. You can play it standalone, like I mentioned, but I would say that your best experience is going to be if you play This Bed We Made first. Just because you'll have a lot more context, you'll be in love with Sophie. It'll just mean more.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But the standalone DLC, they priced it very well. I think it's at let me double check. And the main game goes on sale very regularly. Yeah, so the standalone, like the little DLC story, more or less, is $6.99.
That's really good.
So, and like I said, I finished it in like 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm so impressed. Well, 2 hours, $6.99. That's fair price then. Yeah.
I'm
and
actually, it might have been more like $3 for me, but
Yeah.
That's me.
I'm still really impressed with the price of these games recently.
Yeah, well, honestly, this is another one where I'm like, ooh, you guys might have. I think they were able to get away with it because they were able to just use the systems from the first game,
right,
and put in some different environments. So it probably made the development cycle a little easier. And I think more importantly, what they were probably doing is setting up a development. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. They're basically setting up a system where they can like release these more easily is my guess. And so we'll see how, because this one came out. I mean, I was surprised. I didn't even know it was happening. And then I was like, oh, how exciting. I love these games. But yeah. So yeah, $6.99 for, I played 2.8 hours. And I enjoyed every second of it. So, absolutely worth it. And then lastly for me, in terms of recently played that isn't Tiny Teams, I checked out yesterday a cute little indie game, and this is a solo developer called Odd's Job. And y'all, this was so cute.
So Odd's Job and y'all?
No, just Odd's Job.
Oh.
I was just saying.
Job and y'all, it's so cute.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
No, sorry.
Yeah,
I got it.
You're good.
Sorry. It was
but
like, huh?
It was a wholesome little platformer. And not one that punished you. Yes. Not one that punished you. Like, I mean, obviously there was, spiky things that you would have to get through and stuff. And as you got further into the levels, they got a little bit harder. But like the checkpoints were very generous. So even if you had to redo a part a bunch of times, you didn't have to like run to it. And actually the dev was hanging out yesterday, and so they were like, yeah, I didn't want to. They were like, I don't like games where I have a harder time getting to the thing than actually finishing it. So I wanted to make sure there were checkpoints that were reasonable. But yeah, it's just like this really little wholesome game. Your name is Odd. And you move to a new country and you're sending home money to your family so that they can move there with you. And so basically you go through these levels doing these jobs, and each, you earn tokens to bring other family members who unlock different kinds of jobs. And so you just kind of platform through this little world, meeting his cute little family members. And it's kind of based on some of the experiences of the developer themselves and their family. So it's just very wholesome. Very, very cute. It's got like the hand-drawn art. And honestly, I just felt like it played really nicely. Like everything just worked the way it was supposed to. And a lot of things were optional. You could try and do a run with only touching the ground so many times, but you could also just go through it naturally and enjoy the game, So it has a little something for all skill levels, in my opinion, including people who are new to platformers. So Yeah, I loved it. It was another short one. It took me, I think it took me around almost 4 hours, and
Okay.
I completely beat it and 100%ed it. I didn't do the
Oh wow.
challenges to try not to touch the ground because those are hard, but I might go back and do
Mhm.
some of those. Um, so yeah, solo developer. And again, another one that's coming out at a very reasonable price point. $4.99, $4.49 on sale at the moment. Absolutely worth it. And I think the fun thing is, people with younger kids who are getting into games, I think this is a game that younger kids could play very easily.
And the looks of it, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and so
The looks
like,
and everything you said, absolutely.
yeah, but I didn't feel talked down to at any point either. Like, it did
That's
a
good.
good job of like,
That's important.
yeah, they would remind you of controls and stuff. Like a character would be like, and don't forget you can do this, and I'm like, I appreciate that because some people, including me, will forget.
Yeah.
There's so many things you could do in these games. Like, I don't know.
And
I just
other people don't read the
yeah,
tutorials, so.
yeah. And so I don't know. I think they did a really good job, and it's honestly surprising that this is their debut like solo game.
That's amazing. That's so great.
Yeah, I don't think I even ran into any bugs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so very, very good. Again, just a wholesome little adventure that you can finish in one setting if you want to, or one sitting. So yeah, odds
Yeah.
job. Check it out. Maybe check it out for your young ones. I really think it's appealing to people of all ages.
And well, we mentioned tutorials and stuff and not reading tutorials. Let's talk about Fields of Mystery real quick.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's
whoa,
hear it,
whoa.
girl.
Oh my god. Honestly, it's so frustrating to me. That's a great start, isn't it? Um,
Don't worry,
um,
she's got more.
I've got more. Don't worry. Just stay seated, okay? Don't get angry at me. Don't cancel me just yet, okay? Just wait for it. Um, it gets worse. No. No, it's Fields of Mistria. It has all the elements of things that if you know me, you're like, oh no, this is a Loona game. Loona will freaking love this game. And even I have watched so many people play later parts of Fields of Mystery, but I'm like, oh, I'm gonna love this game. I need to play this so I can get there. And oh my god, I want to experience this. Blah 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 blah. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait until it's out in 1.0, and then I'll tackle it again then, because by then, like, the game will be more fleshed out. Maybe they will have changed some of the things to make them less snoozy. Um, and yeah, and so that's exactly what I did. When Fields of Mystery came out to 1.0, I was like, all right, chat, let's tackle this. And I think I played about an hour, and then I was like, I need to swap games. I am falling asleep. And it is so incredibly frustrating because, like I said, I know I would love this game. Like, even looking at it now, I'm like, I want to play more. And I'm like, but I know I will fall asleep 15 minutes in, you know? And I think it's a combination of things. For one, the music in Fields of Mistria is so freaking chill. And I think it just a scratch for me that just, I'm like, okay, snoozy times, Um, and the other thing is that it does this thing where it asks you, well, like they ask at the beginning, oh, do you know any gardening or whatnot, XYZ, and you have the option to say yes.
Uh-huh.
Essentially skipping the farm sim tutorial, because let's face it, they're not that different. The different farm sims are not that different in the things that you do. There's always a hoe, there's always a watering can, you always have to plant stuff,
There's always a hoe. Okay, continue.
So, it's they're not that different. So you have the option to basically opt out of the tutorial. But then it's like, oh, here's a hoe. You use a hoe like this. A hoe is used to till the soil. Thanks. I know. And they're like, here's a watering can. You can use this to water your plants. I'm like, why? Why give me the option to skip the tutorial and then make me go through it anyways? And they tell it to you in like the most like longest convoluted sentences, you know? And it's like, okay, I got it, thanks. Watering can, water plants, okay, goodbye. You know? So I think it's just I need to really get through all of the tutorial bits, all of the fake skippable tutorial bits. And I need to get further into the game. But here's the thing. I looked at all my save files. I have never gotten beyond 2.5 hours in that game.
How many save files do you have?
I think there were like 6 of them. So it's not like I haven't tried. It's not like I haven't tried, okay? Oh my goodness. I will do it. Maybe I just need to turn off the music and like put on some like punk rock music or something.
Well, and you know, there's something to be said about some games you need to be in certain mindsets, and maybe you just haven't been in the mindset where you can play Fields of Mystery. Because like I've mentioned before, Tree, it took at least 3 times to get into Witcher 3, which is crazy to me because I was immediately in. But yeah, like he would start it and they would do a little bit and he'd be like meh, and we'd start it, he would do a little bit, he'd be like meh, and finally he pushed through.
Even me with my like all-time favorite game, Cyberpunk, you know, it took me like I didn't like it straight off the bat. It took me a minute to actually like that game. So it's with Fields of Mystery, I'm like 100% convinced that once I get into it, once I get past that very groany tutorial stage, I'll be fine and I will love that game. But I need to just lock in. You know what I mean?
Well, and it might just, you know, it's just might be something you do a little bit, you know, over a course of a couple days or something. You just like play a little bit, go to sleep, play a little, you know, like, and get past the tutorial.
I'm gonna do an hourly Fields of Mistria segment on my stream now every day. Every day I stream like, okay, guys, here's our hour a day of Fields of Mistria.
Here's our hour in the fields.
Gotta go touch some grass.
But you know, and it's okay to sometimes just recognize that while a game might be good, sometimes a game just isn't for you.
Isn't for you, yeah.
No matter how much you want to like it, it's just, you know, there's some times where something just doesn't resonate with you, and trying to force it only makes it worse.
Yeah, and I also, someone, I don't remember who it was, but someone in the community did point out that for them there have been like they used to love cozy games. But for them, there have been so many cozy game releases lately that they're like, I don't even want to see another one. Like, I don't want to hear, I don't want to see, I don't want to know anything about it. I just need to, like, step away from the cozy game, farm sim specifically, cozy farm sim specifically, you know? And I mean, they're not wrong, because, like, obviously Stardew's still going, and everybody still loves Stardew. And then there's Fields of Mistria, and there's Star Sand Island, and there's Moonlight Peaks, you know? And that's just to mention a few of them, right?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, yeah, it's well, and to be fair, you know, a lot of them offer different things, but yeah, at the end of the day, like the gameplay loop is very similar, and so it's just like sometimes you need a break between those. You need to play a different kind of game, or you just need to come back to them when you're ready for them, you know? Like it's okay not to play games immediately when they come out or be there for like the initial hype. Like it's fine. You don't play a game when you're ready.
Yeah. I'm watching VOD on your stream. And that thing of him showing me the dragon, I had no recollection of that. So you know how checked out I was there. I was like,
Luna's like, wait, this is my VOD?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what that is me? And I'm like, that's my sheep. That's my VOD. I don't remember this. That's my character. I don't remember this.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Well, and apparently, I didn't know this. Apparently, Fields of Mistria is funded by Pusheen. You know, the little cat guy.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah,
If you look
they
at the
just
color
don't.
palette,
They
it
don't
makes so
talk
much
about
sense.
it.
Yeah.
Because
It's got
they
the
want
same
to.
color palette.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. So like, I think what you're looking at, you know, you're seeing like this will probably be like a very comprehensive, you know, farming sim versus some of the others that are a little bit more small, and that's daunting. You know,
Yeah.
that's daunting. It's
The thing is,
daunting
like,
to
we
try
did.
and do another Stardew Valley.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's what so many of these games are trying to do, right? To make like the next Stardew Valley. Like that's for a lot of these games, that's the goal for to make a farm sim game that hits as hard as Stardew did.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But never say never. But I think it's gonna be really freaking tough. Um, and a thing that I will say, I think the reason that Moonlight Peaks works so well, is because it takes the traditional farm sim elements, but it's like, what if you're a vampire? What if you're a vampire and you're in a town full of witches and vampires and werewolves? Everything happens at night, you know, and things are just a little bit different, but they're different enough that it keeps your attention. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and I think that's kind of where we're at when it comes to the farm sim. Is it's not enough to make a cute, cozy farm sim, because there are so many. You really do have to differentiate yourself. So, like Moonlight Peaks going the vampire angle, or the upcoming Grave Seasons going for a darker atmospheric angle,
Yeah.
or even Cattle Country going for a very western, like pixely vibe. Like those set themselves apart. But when I see, and unfortunately, when I see Fields of Mistria, I don't see anything different yet. And that part of that's because I haven't paid attention to it very much. But like, I don't know what differentiates it from the others. You know? Like,
Yeah,
I
no,
haven't
you're
really
right.
seen one thing where I'm like, oh yeah, that's Fields of Mistria, where I can say like, you know, I can say one
Like
thing
that's
to,
unique. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, and maybe that's just because obviously, like, I haven't paid very much attention to it, so that might not be a very fair observation, but that's just from the outside perspective. All right. Okay.
Cozy Game Rambles.
Yeah. So
Also,
there
Loftia soon and Palea. Yeah.
yeah.
Carry on.
Loftia soon. We don't know when yet, but soon.
No, soon.
All right.
TM.
Main event for Cesire. We're going to talk a little bit about Tiny Teams. There's no way I can cover all of Tiny Teams in this episode. We've already yapped too long about other things. So,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. I'll be talking about most of these games again in the future when they actually come out. But to start out, Tiny Teams, for those that don't know, is a celebration of small development teams making their dreams come true by making games together. It has some games that are already out, but the majority of games are like demos and upcoming games. It's kind of a way to see what's out there. So this page that I have currently, these are the 5 games that I played that are already out. These games are released. You can buy them now. You can enjoy the heck out of them. And man, were they all excellent. They were all so fun. I think we talked a little bit about Retro Rewind last. Yeah, we did, because we learned that I have a hard time saying rewind.
Rewind.
So that one was obviously was really fun for me. But we played a bunch more that I didn't get a chance to talk about yet. So we played Primal Planet, which is a pixel story adventure game where you're basically like a caveman in dinosaur times, and you and your family are trying to survive. You're trying to escape. But wait, there's also aliens. For some reason, aliens are stealing the dinosaurs. I don't know why yet. I didn't get far enough to figure any of that out. But basically, it's Caveman Cesire, my child, and a little dinosaur that follows me around.
Is your child a dinosaur?
No, I have an actual child.
Okay.
Yeah.
I needed to make sure. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I have an actual child, and it seems like you can like meet people through the game to help you and stuff. So it's just like a very cute little like pixel Metroidvania with dinosaurs. I really liked it. The aesthetics were on point. The music was good, and I think it's going to shape up to be a kind of interesting story. A story told with no words on top of that. So it's also local co-op, so you can have another person running around with you. That's always fun. But yeah, I really liked it. Most of these games on this list will definitely be coming back up on my stream in the future, and so I might be able to talk to them more when I get to play through more of them. But yeah.
What's Rel?
Rel was delightful.
It's the one that catches my eye out of there.
That one was absolutely delightful. So Rel is a little exploration like puzzle game. You're a little wizard and you have a book where you can basically put different runes together to create spells. So you can create a spell that pushes and lifts, or, you know, like make something turn and moves it. So basically, like, you have to combine these spells to get the world to move the way that you want to, basically. It was very, very cool. And obviously it catches your eye because the aesthetics are incredibly colorful. It's like being in an illustrated book.
Okay.
It's so cute. I've barely, again, because I only got to play these for like each of these for like 2 or 3 hours so far. So I've barely scratched the surface, but it was really, really neat to try and like combine the spells to do what I needed to do to get through the puzzles, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. And basically the story is that everybody has vanished except for like a very small amount of people, and so you're trying to figure out like what the heck happened, like where is everybody, and just like navigating this world that's suddenly very empty. And I think the cool thing about it is because of the spell system, the spell combo system, there are multiple solutions to all puzzles. So like not every player is going to solve them the same way, which I always find very intriguing. Yeah, that one was really good. That was Rel, Warped Worlds and Troubled Times. I was thoroughly charmed by it. And that one's already out. And that one was actually published by Yogscast, the people who put on Tiny Teams, which I thought was interesting. So
That's cool.
they really believe in it. So yeah, that one's Rel. Really liked it. It was different. It was very different from kind of any of the ones that I played, I think. And then there's Tiny Life. Tiny Life was very, very fun. Tiny Life is basically like Pixel Sims. It's very, you know, low graphics, but it's a Sims game. You have your little tinies, you can set up their personalities, you know, they can get a job, they can do all of those things. But it's, you know, since it's pixelated, like you can actually have like a ton of them without it being as much big of an issue as like, you know, regular Sims might be. It's really cute. I had actually played this. I played the demo during last year's Tiny Teams. So it was cool to come back and actually start playing the full game. Now, I made the classic mistake of not just buying a pre-built house. So unfortunately, I spent most of my time building.
Cesire.
Loona's giggling because she recently made the exact same mistake with Sims. Or with Paralives.
Paralyzed, yeah. I was like, I'll just be real quick 3 hours later. Dang it!
Yeah, so I didn't unfortunately get into too much of the interactions between the tinies themselves, but I think this one's gonna come back in the future, and I think I'm gonna actually do something which I think is pretty cool. I'm gonna like get all the traits and stuff and put them into a Discord channel and let chat create characters to put in the world. And then
Ooh, I
we're just
like
gonna kind
it.
of like maybe let it run wild and see what happens, you know?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so it was very fun. It's exactly what you would expect. Obviously, it's Pixel, so it's not as maybe you might not think it's as pretty as The Sims, but I think being pixelated and being a smaller scale game, it can do some things that like, Sims can't do, like play on Steam Deck.
Mhm.
So I'll have to let you guys know more about what I think when I get more into it. But that was another one where the dev came and hung out, and they're super sweet. I mean, they even added me on Discord. And that was like
I
a
love
heavily
that.
solo project. So
Okay.
that's a big undertaking to do a simulation game on
Mhm.
your own. And they're
Yep. Yep.
still, plugging away at it. It's technically in early access, so they've still got a lot more that they need to add to it, but it felt like it was in a pretty good place when I was playing it.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see what they do, and I'm excited to get more into it because, like I said, I spent most of the time building. and in the end, my house wasn't even good. It was too small. I
Totally
had
don't
to,
relate to this at
yeah,
all.
I had to go back and rebuild the whole thing.
Oh
Because
my
that's like the
goodness.
hard thing sometimes when you're starting those games is like, what are the proportions like, you know?
Yeah, no,
And I learned the
absolutely.
hard way. uh,
That those aren't it.
yeah. So that was Tiny Life. Incredibly enjoyable in early access. It's like $15, so you can get a ton of playability. Way more than $15 worth, in my opinion. uh, um, And then lastly of the release games that I tried was one called Everything is Crab. Um this one was really interesting. So it's a little roguelike game. You start out as like a little blob and you go out and you attack things and you eat them and then you level up basically. You get to add mutations and evolutions. And try to make the strongest creature to survive through the level, right? Um, but what I liked about it extra, obviously, it was really fun. The pixel art was really cute, but it had Twitch integration, and chat could vote on the evolutions, so they could basically like make their own
Wonderful.
monstrosity.
Beautiful. Best decisions are always
uh,
made by chat.
yeah, exactly. And so I feel like that was a really good use of Twitch integration, in my opinion. Like it just it made it more engaging. And it also, it had us slow down so that we would actually like paying attention to what the evolutions were and whatnot. Um, and then you kind of go through and you can unlock new ones and then get stronger and stronger and go through harder waves. But it was really charming. Um, it was fun just like trying to see what the different pieces looked like once you put them all together. Because like,
Mhm.
for a while I didn't have any legs. And then suddenly I had like 5 eyes, and it
What did
was
you do? Wiggle
just
around with no
you just
legs,
you're just
or
like
like
you're like a
hop?
little blob, and you just kind of like ooze around, kind of a
Oh,
little
okay, okay.
bouncy blob. It was you're kind of like a ditto at the start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was really charming. I think the Twitch integration definitely made it an even bigger hit. Um, it had that engagement that got chat interested in it, so I liked that a lot.
Mhm.
Um, but it was interesting. It's kind of like it was almost like a little bit of a deck builder in the way that like each time that you leveled up, you had like 3 evolutions to choose from, and
Mhm.
you could you didn't quite know right away what you would be facing. So sometimes you'd be really strong, and then suddenly you just get wrecked. So it was fun. That was another good one. Um, there were even more games, and as a matter of fact, there were games that I've already played. Um, but I forgot to make a list. Sorry, y'all.
Wow.
I know. But so these were the 5 that we played during Tiny Team. So if you wanted to see more footage of them, you can always go over to either my Twitch or my YouTube and you can watch the footage. 3 of them, Retro Rewind, Rel, and Tiny Life, do still have public demos. So you can even go try them.
What will we wind?
Wetwo Rewind. Homestyle wanna. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And then, as I mentioned, there were demos. Oh boy, were there demos. There were so many demos. So this year, I was pretty organized. I basically did about 3 demos each day and then the main full game. That was kind of the way that I did it. So we played more than what I'm showing here. But these are just kind of the ones that I specifically put on the graphic to talk about. So first off, we had Sienna, Tale of Spirits. This game, gameplay-wise, it's very basic. It's, you know, it's a very simple game where you just kind of like go around doing tasks for these little characters. Very simple game, but oh my goodness, it is absolutely gorgeous. It's like playing in a Ghibli movie, but like the wholesome Ghibli movies. Like it's like being in Ponyo. I was just running around looking at the little assets because there were these like little shrines with like cute little just like little critters and stuff, and just like it was so stinking cute. Like I'll probably play this game on cuteness alone.
I like the colors of it.
Yeah, it was very very Ghibli. Like she's even in her little schoolgirl outfit, you know, like it really felt like just it took the wholesome, you know, more lighthearted parts of Ghibli and put it into a game. So that one was super cute, and they do now have a public demo, so you can try it out.
Nice.
Sienna, Tale of Spirits. Next I tried, well, I wouldn't say next. Another one I tried was John Gleep. And I'm not gonna lie, the name definitely drew me in because I was like, that's such a silly name. But the game was super interesting. So this is a little game where you're this little alien named John Gleep, and you are in like mega debt to the mob.
Sure.
And so yeah, as you are. So
Sure.
basically,
Yeah.
through a series of bad decisions, you've borrowed an entire galaxy. And you owe that back to the mob, but your galaxy like collapsed, so you don't have the galaxy to give back. So basically what you decide to do is you build a casino, and then you go around abducting people and forcing them to gamble in your casino. And so it's this really weird little, so like the gameplay is basically for the casino, you set like, you know, like little Plinko pegs. So like the different little pegs can have different modifiers basically. And so getting the people that you abduct to hit those pegs can get you more money and whatnot. And so yeah, basically you go around, you fly around abducting people. You have like an energy system, so you got to be careful there. And then obviously the planets are trying to keep you from abducting their people, and they'll attack you. That's the gameplay loop. And I honestly, it was so much fun. It was probably more fun than it had any right to be. I don't know what it was, but like it hit those marks. And I didn't even make it past the first run. I died.
Oh my god, Mafia got you.
Yeah, I didn't make enough money.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it was very interesting. That was one of those demos. So like every time I do these kind of festivals, I try to pick a couple things that I'm really not sure about, or I'm like, I don't know if I'll like this, just to like, you know, push me out of my comfort zone or whatever. So that was one of those, and it turned out to be delightful because it just didn't take itself too seriously, and it was it was just very silly and charming.
Fair.
And then I also tried Toy Maker Threads of Joy. I can't remember if I already mentioned that one or not, but you basically make plushies. And I was making little monstrosities because you can overstuff them or like understuff them. And you can like do all these things, and the customers were like, I don't want to buy those.
Poor stuff. You made a bunch of unwanted stuffings.
Listen, chat wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
It was chat's idea for one of them. 2 of them. No, they were really cute. The demo was a good illustration of what the gameplay was like, but I think the real charm is in when you actually play the game and you unlock different plushie parts, and then you can start kind of mixing and matching. And you can make dolls with outfits and stuff, which is cute. And what I liked about it, I think what I found most interesting about it was the sewing mechanic was actually pretty fun.
Okay.
Yeah, like as a person who does have a sewing machine, I was like, yeah, no, this feels pretty close.
Okay.
Although you didn't have to backstitch, for better or for worse. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I think in terms of, a cozy shop simulator, it was really fun. I was making jokes about the customers being wrong on Blue Sky, and the devs were like, yeah, the customers aren't always right. I was like, I'm glad you recognize that.
Interact. That's great.
So that was Toy
God.
Maker Threads of Joy. Very, very promising, just for a nice chill simulator. Let's go down to the one that Loona noted. Tanuki Pond's Summer.
Yay!
Yeah.
I tried this one too.
Yeah. All right. Well, you wanna talk about it a little? So I'm not.
I didn't play too much of it. I played it. What was it during Steam Next Fest or Wholesome Direct? I don't know, one of them. They're so close to each other. I never know. But during one of them, I played Tanuki Pond Summer, and it was so cute. I loved all the little characters. The fact that you play a little lazy Tanuki that has to rebuild a shrine and everything, and you can do tricks with your bike. It's so much fun. It was so great. And it made me so happy when I saw you play it. And I'm like, yes.
Well, it felt like the old Tony Hawk games when it comes to the BMX part, right? Or SSS Tricky. It felt like those, and then it had the added bonus of all the extra story stuff, and just just Tanuki art, Pond just being ridiculous, what do you thought you were just living here for free, bro? No, I agree. I thought it was very charming. I had fun, doing the deliveries, and it doesn't punish you. You're not gonna drop, the packages and whatnot, so you can still have fun navigating the world while you're delivering the packages, which I always appreciate, because I'm just like, well, if I have to go slow and be boring, what's the point of having all these ramps? Because the world's just like a big playground. I mean,
it really is. It really is, with all the tricks, everything you can do, all the jumps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Yeah, I found it thoroughly enjoyable. Definitely. There's been quite a few chances to play the demo, actually. Yeah, they've been in a couple Next Fests, or at least one Next Fest, and they've been in other festivals. And so every time I'm just like, well, I know I'll like that, and I don't have time right now, so I'm just gonna. And so this time I was like, no, you gotta try it. You gotta. And I'm glad
you don't know how much longer it'll be just available to try like this. You gotta try it.
Yeah, and I'm glad I did, because it really was very, very charming. Very, very fun.
Heck yeah. I'm glad you liked it.
I'm glad you liked it.
I'll put it on my wish list. I'll put it on my wish list.
That's right. I also tried another little simulator game called Worming from Home. So I saw this trailer during one of the showcases, and I was immediately like, yes, this is stupid, and I love it. And my goodness, let me tell you, it is difficult being a little worm in a human-sized world trying to fill out spreadsheets.
Oh god.
Typing was kind of hard, moving the mouse was its own thing, but
As a worm, really?
Yeah, you're a worm. Yeah, so you have to like grab the mouse and move it and stuff. Like it's a human-sized computer. But it was really really fun just because of like just the silliness of it. And then you can like buy little stations to like level up your skills so that all that stuff becomes easier. And so like each station is like a little mini game. So like one of them was like the snake game, you know, and you played that to try and level up. And so it was just very very cute and silly. Didn't take itself too seriously, and the characters seem to be ridiculous because you can like chat with your coworkers and stuff. They're like, yeah, you can technically say whatever you want, but there's no guarantee they'll respond to it. So yeah, that was really fun. It was difficult, but I think as you level up your skills, I think that's when it starts getting easier and you can start just like being sillier. But I liked it. It was a definite win in my book. And I mean it. You're a small worm trying to type on like a regular size keyboard, so you have to like chicken peck each letter.
Oh my god. I wonder how fast they would go on a typing test.
Really slow. Really slow. It was cute though. And then I tried out another game called Dance Dance Detective. So this was like a pixel detective game, kind of point and click adjacent, really. But it had an additional feature of, so like you're undercover on a cruise ship and you're posing as a dance instructor. And your character kind of alludes to like, oh, I said I would never dance again. So there's some weird backstory there, obviously. So you're not like completely flying blind, but you don't remember a lot. So that's how they kind of give you the tutorial, right? But basically, the way that you choreograph these dances by using these little tiles, basically, that have the dance moves on them, and they connect together mostly in certain ways, like to actually fill out the proper one. But you have to figure out how to connect them together to get it to work, and to make sure that they end up in the same place. And then when you do this, your character is like analyzing the characters while they're dancing and like picking up information about their personalities and stuff to help you solve the crime. It was super interesting. And again, another one where the dev came and hung out, and they were so sweet. They were like, there were a couple of spots where I was confused, and they're like, yeah, I didn't do a very good job explaining this mechanic. And I was just like, okay, I'm glad you're here, because I don't know if I would have figured that one out.
Well, that's great feedback, though, because they can go in and fix that now.
Exactly, because they could see where people struggled, and they're like, okay, a lot of people struggled with this. I need a specific tutorial prompt or whatever. So it was really cool. And I'm always a big fan of point and click detective games. Like, love them a lot. And I especially love ones that do something different. So like this one, being the dance instructor and having to do the choreography, like it just added to the genre in a meaningful way, in my opinion. So, and the music was good. Another game that I tried, and this one was wild. It's called Abigail. It does not currently have a demo that's available to the public. All the other ones do. But Abigail doesn't at the moment. But this game,
that name scares me.
No, it's actually quite wholesome. It's a really cute game. But what really draws me in about it is that it is handcrafted. Like they've actually built these little worlds out of paper and out of clay and out of all these kinds of materials, and then they like rotoscoped and took pictures of it, and that's how they built the world. So like it's very visceral, like the textures are real. And it's funny because the characters themselves are like little paper, little paper characters. So like you're this little basic paper character in this intricately crafted world. It's very very charming. And then on top of that, the story is told in an interesting way. So basically, you collect these tiles for a game that like the whole town plays. And the tiles are basically used to learn more information about both the world and the tiles themselves. So like you can go up to a character and you can say, here, I have this tile, and they'll either tell you something like that it reminds them of or whatever, which gives you insight into what you can use the tile for, basically, for the game. So it's just a really interconnected, like, the mini game is the game, and influences the narrative. And I don't know. It was just very different. And then obviously, and then on top of that, having this handcrafted world, I was just like, this is a work of art right here. Like it was really interesting to play. I really hope they do well when they actually release, cuz wow. Just the creativity that went into building it. Very, very intriguing. And then like you can also use the tiles to like bring stuff into the world. So your mom like mentions that she used to have this toucan that used to hang out or whatever, and like using the right tile brought the toucan back into the world and like helped you, you know, move forward the narrative. So it was just really intriguing.
Well, that's sweet. I like that.
Yeah, very wholesome, very it just oozing with charm. I don't know. That one's probably the most unique one that I saw out of any of them. So was very, very impressed. And then lastly, and again, these aren't all the demos I played. These are just some of the ones I thought to mention. And again, we'll probably talk about most of these games in the future when I eventually play them. But I got to try out, and this one's not for Loona, I got to try out We Harvest Shadows, which is a farming sim.
Already. I'm like, ain't no way. Look at the sunset and everything. I'm like, the color filter on that, the name on that, not on me game. You don't even have to tell me. Like, I know I can sniff them out at this point.
Yeah, well, this one was interesting because it's a farming game, basically. But you're like your character has decided to kind of leave the main world. And you've isolated yourself onto a farm. And so you're kind of uncovering this character's story and like why he left and like, you know, what his baggage is through just doing normal farming tasks. However, your character, he basically, so there's a painting in the house. There's a painting in the house, and when you look at it, it changes based on your character's state of mind. So at night, when your character's more scared, the painting might have like creatures in it, or it might just have creepy stuff happening. And then during the day, it's usually just like a painting of a hallway or something. Like it's very, very strange. And so you can like use the painting to gauge how safe it is to stay up at night, for example. Because as your character gets more scared, stuff starts messing with him. Like I was out at night, and then I looked back, and there was just some person peeking at me from behind a tree. And then they just disappeared. And I was like, what the heck? Or like one time I turned around, and I saw the bathroom door close as if somebody had come in through the window. And then when I went into the bathroom, the window was open as if somebody had left. And I was like, I don't think that window was open before.
No.
It's a solo dev project as well, which is crazy. But yeah, so you just kind of like go through trying to like set up your farm, and then as you go along, you know, you start crafting weapons and stuff to actually fight back against whatever's out there. I don't know. I liked it a lot. I loved the atmosphere. I loved the way that they built into it. Like I was into it. I had to stop myself because I was like, well, I obviously like this, and I've been playing too long already. I gotta go. So that one was super cool. Obviously not for the faint of heart, but it is for the Cesire.
Hi, Loona.
If you're interested in tiny teams, you can still find the Steam page, I think. They usually like archive them or whatever, or go to their website.
Nice.
But like I said, almost all of these games still have public demos. I think the only one that doesn't is Abigail. And then a couple of the fully released games don't anymore. So you can check them out and still play them and add them to your wish list. It's just it's just kind of cool to see the variations of games that indie devs are putting out. And like how I can play what's more or less the same game, but have it be so different just because of the atmosphere or the narrative or, you know, the art style or whatever. It's just been really, really cool to be coming up in this indie scene and watching it all happen, you know?
It has been really cool, yeah. And honestly, I've loved how much like obviously it was you know, I loved indie games and stuff before the podcast, and I played games before the podcast. But honestly, since we started the podcast, I feel like I'm paying so much more close attention to all these game releases and whatnot, you know? So like I'm like my eyes have been open to like a whole new world in a way in a different way. And it's just been really honestly nice to explore all these games and become aware of them, because like one of the games I've been recently enjoying, High Times, honestly I don't know if I would have ever known about High Times if I wasn't in this sphere that I'm in right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's so niche.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, you know, it's interesting when you kind of start finding things that you like instead of letting, I guess, marketing executives tell you what you like. So yeah, I think that's all for Tiny Teams for now. Like I said, most of those games I will talk about again one way or another when I get a chance to play them or when they're closer to release. So, and I'll probably maybe I'll try and post those things to my Blue Sky just so people have a reference or whatever. But yeah, I'm ready to move on to upcoming releases unless you had anything else you wanted to chime in about.
No, I didn't play any Tiny Teams. I was too locked in with Final Fantasy, so.
All right. Well, our favorite section, upcoming games. Today we've only got one page. You're welcome. I'm just kidding. It wasn't by choice. It's just one of the quieter 2 weeks, I guess.
I so much didn't believe her that I actually went through my own list to see if she had missed a bunch, but no.
It's just quiet. It's just quiet.
No, it's just quiet at the moment.
I think a lot of people were nervous about, isn't Grand Theft Auto coming out in like September or maybe November? I don't actually know when Grand Theft Auto is coming out.
The thing is, GTA 6 is only coming out on consoles at first.
Oh, is it? I don't know anything. Yeah. I'm so far removed now.
I'm sad about it.
So I think a lot of games got nervous. I know some people pushed their dates specifically to try not to be around when they thought Grand Theft Auto was going to come out. So I think that's part of it. And then there's just really the natural ebbs and flows of dev cycles. You know, I think this happens where there's like a couple weeks where it's just like release, and then it quiets down for a little bit before it kicks back up again. So
I feel like mid-September starts picking up again.
Yeah, September's a big month this time. I know I have a bunch in September, so. But yeah, starting out August 27th, Lose the Lagoon is crashing onto the scene. This one does have a public demo, and I do believe I've maybe mentioned it a little bit before, because this one is kind of like catnip to the open world crafting sim player. It has a lot of promise. Basically, you have a seaplane and you're flying between tropical islands, collecting resources and, you know, rebuilding a community and whatnot, and just trying to unravel the mystery behind your missing uncle. So, I mean, like, already right off the bat, you're like, okay, I can see the fun. And then it hits you with this just absolutely charming art style. It's so cute. And the world is vibrant and colorful and cartoony. It looks very promising. I haven't tried the demo or anything because I'm a little bit scared of it, to be honest.
I'm honestly kind of waiting for you and Lava to play it.
I'm a little bit scared of it because I'm like, oh, it just looks so good. I still gotta play Sekyu. But yeah, I've been keeping my eye on this one. Oh, okay. So Lava Slug, says she's going to be playing that one. So we're gonna have to check out Lava Slug to see if I have no choice. Which the answer is
Mm-hmm.
probably, yeah, I have no choice. But yeah, I've been keeping my eye on this one for a while. Cause I hang out in the Roca Play Discord, and that's their publisher. So
Okay, okay.
they've been talking about this one for a long time. It looked so cute. So that's Luz Lagoon, August 27th. I think it's going to be really good. I will be surprised if it's not, to be honest. Just everything I've seen, it looks solid. Next up, oh gosh, where did my page go? My brain died. Next up, we've got, oh yes, this one I'm also excited for. So we have on August 27th as well, the next installment in the A Plague Tale series. So this is A Plague Tale Legacy Resonance. This is a little bit different because instead of being a direct sequel where we're following Amicia again, we're actually going back a little bit. This is a bit of a prequel. However, we are playing as a character that we met in the second game, the sexy smuggler lady. She's super
sexy.
pretty. And she's a badass. So basically
I
we're
like
going
the sound of that.
Yeah, we're going back. And we're going to be playing as her through her own experiences with it's called the macula. It's like this crazy thing that affects the world in the Plague Tale lore. So we're going back to experience her experience with it. And learning that the macula doesn't present itself the same way in every region. So basically, in the first two Plague Tale games, it's represented by a plague of rats, because the characters are French, and so that was something that they were scared of and that they had been going through. And so that's how it does it there. But with Resonance, she's from like an island, and so their macula presents as like a minotaur and a labyrinth, I think. So it's very interesting. It's gonna be interesting for a couple different reasons. The big reason being that like A Plague Tale, the games do, at least for me, the reason they really resonated was the relationship between Amicia and Hugo, the brother and sister, and like your strive to just kind of like keep him alive through these horrible things. And so it created this very strong emotional game. And to the point where, like, I mean, the second game emotionally destroyed me. I won't say why, but absolutely destroyed me. And so it's going to be interesting going back with not only, with going back with an older character, and seeing how they interact with the world, without having, like this small child to take care of and stuff. I'm very intrigued to see what they do. And see, because I mean, these guys are really good at just at least picking one moment in the game to just destroy you emotionally in each game. And so I'm very interested to see what they're going to do to us in this one.
I'm ready for heartbreak.
Yeah, I really like the games. They're just very good narratives. And the second Plague Tale, they really improved the gameplay and made it even more engaging. So I'm excited again to see this one because we have a character that Amicia was young. She was a young girl. And so you have the limitations of being a younger girl, not having as much knowledge of the world. And so going to this character, I think before her smuggling days, but still, she's an older character and she's kind of seen a bit more of the world. So I think that's going to be interesting too. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't know exactly when I'm going to get to it, although I did see it might be on Dare Drop, so maybe sooner than later. But yeah, I really like the Plague Tale games. Highly recommend. With the caveat, obviously, that there are some intense emotional moments that some people might not be equipped to handle.
Okay, yeah.
And then August 28th, we've got Ventreville, A Cure for Sorrow. I've mentioned this game before because I tried it during Tiny Teams, or not Tiny Teams, I tried it during Next Fest. It is a narrative game where you are, I think you're like a detective. Let me see if I can remember. I play too many games, you guys. But yeah, so you're like, it's a murder mystery. So you're basically going through, trying to obviously solve the murder. But what's interesting about it is your decisions affect the game going forward in such a way where like characters can just not be part of it anymore, or where you're going to be playing as a different character basically. So like each chapter is you play as a different character, and so that you get to interrogate the player you played before, or the character you played before, which is interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember talking about this. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be, well, I think it's going to be a very intriguing, elaborate narrative. And I wish them luck on that because that's always difficult. But the art is really cute. I enjoyed, they still have the demo, which is like part of the first chapter, I think. And so you can kind of play it and get a feel for it. But it looks very, very charming. And especially if you're a narrative detective gamer, it's definitely one to look into and see if you're into it, because I think they're gonna have a lot of cool stuff in there. Okay. So yeah, that's Ventreville, A Cure for Sorrow, and they're coming out August 28th, and you can still check out the demo. We also have coming up on September 12th, The Blood of Dawnwalker. This one does not have a demo, but this one,
I think some would be interested in this.
This one looks really interesting. It has a ton of potential, but it's one of those things where it's got to be done right, and that can be difficult, as we've seen with previous vampire games in this style. However, from what I've gathered, it does seem like they're approaching it very smartly. Obviously, like, because the problem with vampires a lot of times is they're very overpowered, just by the nature of what they are. And so with this one, like, you have to do stuff at night because if you're out during the day, you're super weak, for example. And so I think it's going to present an interesting narrative story because you play as a character that doesn't want this at all. Like, you don't want to be a vampire. This is kind of like forced on you, and you're trying to save your family. And so I think that that's going to create a really interesting narrative adventure where you're kind of like grappling with not liking what you're becoming, but using it to protect your family, Like I think it has a lot of potential. But like I said, we've had
it's really good. Yeah. For me, it does have some scenes that are a little bit too creepy. But like I said, I think my hubby would be like the perfect audience for this, and I might even try and get it for him, honestly, because I do think that he would really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's one of those where like your decisions are influencing the world, so like I think you can get a lot of replayability out of it. And yeah, when I look at it, I'm like, yeah, that does seem like something Fonzie would be into more so than you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I looked through it last night and I saw one picture. I was like, no.
I thought it was interesting. This is one of the rare times that there were some bigger games chilling on this list. We don't usually have a lot of these more expensive games up here, so I thought that was interesting too. But they look good, and so I'm hoping for good things.
Let's wait until GTA comes out on PC. That'll be on there. You bet your butt that will be on there. I will fight you.
I mean, why? How could I ignore such a gaming moment? All right. And last but not least on our list of upcoming games between now and the next podcast is a delightful little game called Bio Eden. This one is a little like cozy management game where you have to create the right biomes for different species basically and try and kind of like restore the nature of the world in your little dome, basically. It's really, really cute. You kind of just have like this network of little structures that help the grass grow back and, help animals come back and whatnot. And you have to try and balance making sure that everybody can live there comfortably and that you don't like go too fast and pollute it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks really good. We love a classic management, and I like that in the last handful of years, a lot of the management games coming out have had a bit of a like restoring nature vibe to them,
Mm-hmm.
which I appreciate because previously a lot of management games were really about just like, exploiting and like taking all the resources you can. And so I like this change where it's just like, okay, yeah, like you're a management game, but like you need to actually grow in a healthy way that doesn't mess up the world around you, which I think adds some really nice extra challenge that like some of these games might be missing out on. So that one looks really cool. And it obviously has adorable art. Cute little critters that you can basically build habitats for. Almost like it's like a reverse creature collector. Instead of collecting them, you're just like convincing them to move there by building a nice little biome for them to live in. So yeah, that one looks very interesting. Excited to see how it ends up playing. But yeah, today, like I said, today we only had one page of releases. It's the quiet before the storm that is September and October. So I imagine next week's episode will be just packed with all kinds of goodness. There's so much.
Yeah, don't worry. The storm is coming. The storm is on its way.
Yeah, we're in danger because I know there's like, well, because we're getting towards the end of the year, right? And so you have a lot of games that were like, yeah, we're gonna release in 2026, and so it's getting to the point where they have to decide, do I want to release in 2026 or do I need to delay? Yeah. And so we're gonna see some of these release, and we're gonna see some of these very smartly delay.
Yes.
And then some of them never update their Steam pages, and we have to hope that they're alive.
Oh my god, I love that. That's my favorite. Hope that they're alive. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that is I think that's a yap on Pixel Yaps episode 31. Do you any parting words before you go?
Sometimes there is a game on Steam that you like, and rather than just sleeping on it and trying to think of whether you should buy it or you shouldn't buy it, you should just go for it. You should just buy the game. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, supporting indie games, like I did have the game that I voiced for, so Seeding the Wasteland, the game I did some voice acting for, they recently mentioned how much they've made so far because they released on the 31st of July. They made like $300, so it's not great, but they're very excited that people resonated with their game, and they said, it's not going to stop them from making more games. But yeah, like,
I love that.
It's just kind of like the idea that your purchases of, for example, Seeding the Wasteland versus your purchase of Grand Theft Auto. When you purchase Seeding the Wasteland or, any games that are small indie teams, you are directly supporting those people.
This is true.
Where obviously you're still supporting, the developers when you're buying like a Rockstar game or a AAA game, but they're not seeing quite as much as what these indie devs are seeing,
That just reminds me of something that I actually wanted to bring up real quick. Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
God, I'm trying to remember which game it was, but it was one of those games where recently a lot of devs were let go. And so it a lot of people were like, oh, we're gonna boycott this game, we're not gonna play, blah 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 blah. It was just like a game that was like to be released soon, or just like literally about to be released, and then they like let go a lot of the devs and whatnot. So it's a really scummy thing, you know, the usual, right?
The usual.
And sadly, but yeah. And then the devs came out and were like, no, please go and play the game anyway. I know what happened to us sucks, and we're all really sad about it, but we spent years putting our blood, sweat, and tears into this game and developing it and making it what it is right now. So please, please, please go try this game that we worked so hard on for you guys, you know? So I feel like that is something to like as much as it sucks with devs being let go of like our favorite studios and stuff like that, I think that is something we need to keep in mind, that they spent a lot of time developing these games, right? No, it wasn't ESO, but they did say something along those lines in ESO as well. Like, they don't want, like, none of the people that, like, obviously the people who got let go are really sad, and everybody's really sad about that. So I'm still sad about it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't touched ESO since. I'm still planning on it, because at the end of the line, at the end of the day, they still put so many years into this game, and they're immensely proud of it and everything they have created, and they love this game, you know, and they still want us to continue enjoying it. And heck, they still want to enjoy it themselves as well, you know. So it's so bittersweet, but definitely, you know, I don't know. I feel like there's
it feels
this, like,
a little like a hostage situation.
It does. It's a little like, I don't know. I feel like
damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah,
that's
honestly,
really where we're at,
yeah.
you know. So really,
Yeah,
I mean, I
but
think what the real sentiment is that, you know, you as an individual have to decide what or who you want to support. And so, yeah, it can be, so like, I guess like a good example would be like Dragon Age, you know, like buying the Veilguard helped, you know, the people who worked on it. But
yeah,
maybe, you know, you might think twice about supporting anything in the future, knowing what happened after, you know, like,
yeah.
It's a really difficult position to be in, to be honest.
Yeah.
Where you're like, well, I want to support these devs, but I don't necessarily want to support some of these bigger companies, and it's just like, what do I do, you know? And that's probably why I'm so heavily in the indie sphere now.
Honestly, don't blame you. And I'm so happy to see so many indie games like generally be really good. Like really, really, really good, you know? And yeah, it makes me excited for the future of indie games, honestly. And
but at the same time, like, you know, if you want indie games to succeed, like, they need your help. You need to, you know, you have to buy them, first of all. But not just buy them, you know, like, if you're buying them on Steam, one of the easiest things you can do is leave a frickin' review. So many people are like, I've never reviewed a game, and it's like, you have 400 games. What do you mean you've never reviewed one of your games? Leave a review. It helps so much. Like, so when it comes to small indie games, from my understanding, a lot of them don't even get pushed in the search algorithm until they hit a certain amount of positive reviews. So, like, for example, the game that I'm in, you know, it hasn't hit that threshold, and so it's harder to find.
Right.
And so, like, if you want indie gaming to succeed, you can't just say nice things and hope that it does. Like, you gotta do your part, whether that be monetarily.
Put it on your wish list, leave a review.
Talk about it on your socials, you know, tell your friends about it. Like, if we want it to succeed, they can't do it alone because they don't have the resources. Like, so yeah, that's kind of one of the things I've been seeing, that sentiment a little bit on Blue Sky, where they're like, yeah, you know, people keep saying indie games will save us, but that's only if you help us. That's only if you save us too.
It's like Madigan always says, it takes a village, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, like, if you're serious and you really think indie gaming is the future, then you have to put your money where your mouth is, and you gotta buy indie games instead of buying, you know, the big AAAs, and you gotta you gotta leave your reviews and you gotta make your posts. And if you're a creator, you gotta make the shorts and you gotta advertise them. You know?
I'm gonna buy
Like,
GTA when it comes out, though.
it's just, it's a
Oh
lot.
my goodness.
And yeah, I see the sentiment because I follow a lot of indie devs and they're just like, yeah, we love it, but also like, it's not easy to be an indie dev and to wonder if you're going to be able to put food on the table, if
Yeah, I
if the
can't.
algorithm is gonna let you put food on the table.
I can't name names at the moment, but there was somebody um that said a while back that saying like, oh well, just go create an indie game instead, become your own like studio, blah 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 blah. And they were like, that's like the dream essentially. That would be the ideal. But that is so much easier said than done.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, and even if you make a game, even if you do make a game, like unless you get lucky or you just work really hard and like work at it and work at it and work at it, like you're not gonna. The mecha chameleons are so few and far in between.
Yes.
More are like the
Yes.
game that I voiced in that only has so far made $300. And that's like not even enough to cover how much they worked on it. So,
Or it's like the people that worked at the High Times. High Times is their 4th game.
Yeah.
I have never even heard of them
Never
before
heard of
then,
them. Yeah. So,
yeah.
It's all well and good to be excited about indie gaming, but if you really want it to thrive, you got to take a more active part, whether that be with your wallet or with your words. They need your help. They really do. It's hard out there. It's so hard out there. But
I think that is the perfect point to wrap it up.
Absolutely.
So that was I love how we went from like not having anything else to talk about to just like
accidentally extending the stream. That's great. All right. Well, that is a yap. If you enjoyed the program, we are live on this channel, twitch.tv/it'satree with 3 E's. We're live on this channel every other Friday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. However, if you cannot watch it live, fret not, because Loona over here uploads each episode to her YouTube for your listening pleasure whenever you want. Whenever you want.
The next day always pops up a day after the podcast.
A day after the podcast. So
Thank you guys so much for listening. My name is Loonaromi. Call me Loona. I'm on all the platforms. I'm on Blue Sky, Twitter, Twitch, where I stream about 4 days a week. 4 days. Yeah, that's right. I've also started uploading more videos on YouTube now. I'm so proud of myself. And yeah, I'm also on Instagram and on basically everywhere. If you find a Loonaromi, it's probably me.
Sounds exhausting.
It's fun.
And I'm Cesire. I stream 5 days a week. Twitch.tv/it'satree with 3 E's. I also multi-stream to YouTube, which is youtube.com/@itsacesire. And I do shorts on there and whatnot. And I'm a pretty chronic Blue Sky poster. So if you're a Blue Sky person, yeah, I do be posting. So that's also Cesire there. Thank you all so much for being here with us. I hope you like the new look courtesy of Loona over here with her fabulous design chops. We'll be back next podcast with more releases, more games we've been playing, and who knows what other topics we'll come up with, because we don't usually know.
No, we don't.
No, we didn't know what we were going to do. All right, good night.
Pixels and yaps. Pixels and yaps. We like pixels and computer games. Pixels and yaps. Pixels and yaps. We're yapping about pixels and computer games. Pixels and yaps.